In yet another bulletin. News Tonight at 10. My name is Patricia Lukoma. First though, let's look at the top stories. Again, President Museveni donates 500 million shillings to Kanungu NRM supporters. EC extends voters' registration period as MPs demand for clarifications. UPDF Engineering Brigade urges timely release of funds for completion of ongoing projects. And lastly, manufacturing engage over resistance electricity outages. Welcome once again. Now into the news. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has pledged a donation of 500 million shillings to support savings and credit services for National Resistance Movement supporters in Kanungu district. This commitment was made during the launch of the Kanungu District NRM Development Association, an event that attracted hundreds of party loyalists from across the district.
Hundreds of supporters of NRM party have gathered in different parts of Kanungu district to welcome the president as he entered the second day of wealth creation tour. Kanungu district headquarters playgrounds were filled to capacity as Banyachigezi waited for the president. Accompanied by the First Lady, Gent Kataha Museveni, the president was received amidst excitement.
Your Excellency, nitukusima kuleba ngu okwikumi nibire 18 okija watutongoza kandi watu office yitu omuli Chihi.
Niyenda kubashima mwena nokutyala munonga abatembuire nyekundire okurwana hari NRM obo bantu bamwe bandi benda kugitagura.
Niyenda kusima okwechereza okweja kutongoza abanyekundire abwa Kanungu abwa constituency zone 2 ya Chenchezi West na Chenchezi East.
Here the president commissioned Kanungu District NRM Yakundere Development Association with a pledge of shillings 500 million.
My staff, please remind me so that when I go back, I ensure that 500 million shillings is put in the fund of our people here.
This journey, which started in 2016, although it was commissioned by the NRM party chairman in 2018, is development centered.
Majani gakaga tubisizeho ni kushabango shitameni to ba leaders ba Kigezi na MPs ba Kigezi tubase kurakwa kutwagarira mbibo y'amajano muri Kanungu.
Kugambire muno ije kugaruka kugamba ari y'amajani aho kuba benji n'abayiji b'amajani ebeye kagwa kandi waje muno ije kugaruka dushobora reshonga y'amajani konka abajenekira amajani sebo president hine sente ziba cyabanja mu government.
Earlier, the president checked on Kenneth Ayesiga, a parish development model beneficiary in Nyamirama Town Council, Kanungu district.
Ngire kote za average nashangani ukore mitware 3 n'eshweka orunaku kundi kuteza mu kwezi eba miliyoni emwe n'emitware 5 omukwezi then kundi ku nshiteza mu mwaka nashanga PDM ejo miliyoni emwe enkolire miliyoni 13 emitwara nkaga n'etano.
Kenneth, who received a seed capital of 1 million in 2023, is the owner of the famous parish development model restaurant in Kanungu district.
Agumizamu bamba ndimwe president Museveni na kumusimanda kamba nzenteka teke izina erina yeteje hotel akubani nje simisa nazo mwanya murungi mwinteka teke izina erina ajete niho nagize ruhangani wachimpira kanje ite parish model development restaurant.
Mwenu hayinoko ruhanga kuza kugikozesa kombeka family zetu habwo kubaho kwikahona oshanga omushaija n'omukyarawe bakwatire bati nibakora ka development model kabo esente nibazikozesa hamwe nibazijurira hamwe
enale mukaruka cyane na mukaga tukatanga kubagamba ikigambo kya bona bagagaware prosperity for all niye gimu kugamba hati PDM ati bigambo kubandi byandi bihinduka bite kigambo nikyejo n'abagamba ntungeno enguto amashomero amarwariro mbagenti bite bene mu kugamba mbandize entasi yamaka mbanze mutunge entasi yamaka ebindi nija kongerwa.
Ayesiga's story is worth celebrating and gives hope to the hopeless.
So now as we are here today, we can see that from 1 million Ugandan shillings, you can grow a business bigger than what everybody expects.
You go to Mr. Sudir and you're paying him and the money is dirty. He can never say this is dirty money. He takes it. He will take it to the central bank and clean it up. Money can never be dirty. We have to put all our effort, whatever it takes, to make money. And this is a very good example.
This is the second day of the presidential wealth creation tour in the Kigezi sub-region by the presidents. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Now, thank you very much there, Robert Onyango. The Electoral Commission has extended the voter registration period by 1 week from February 11th to February 17th, 2025. The Speaker of Parliament, while chairing the plenary session on Thursday, informed members that she had received a letter from the Electoral Commission announcing this extension.
The voter registration exercise has been extended for a week from February 11th to February 17th following the expiration of the initial timeline on February 9th. The Electoral Commission communicated this extension in a note addressed to the Speaker of Parliament.
So if you've not registered, kindly go and register so that you exercise your constitutional mandate to vote for the person you wish to do so.
Members of Parliament had previously requested an extension, citing various challenges affecting the registration process. After hearing these concerns, the Minister for Justice, Norbert Mao, agreed to implement the recommendations from the committee.
Government, we hope that in these 7 days, you're going to fix all the issues that have been raised by all the members here. We are now into the extra 7 days, but the issues have not been sorted out. Honorable, I think government needs to relook into that. When we asked for the extension, it wasn't just for the sake of it. It was so that, number one, make sure there is adequate number of kits, the kits are functional.
However, some MPs have expressed concerns about the extension, questioning whether the Electoral Commission has addressed issues such as the lack of registration kits. They argue that extending the registration period will not resolve the ongoing problems. Several MPs have complained about malfunctioning machines in their constituencies and inadequate time for voters to register.
The Electoral Commission really step up the game. As they give these dates and as they extend, the machines up to now are not working. They have one person in the sub-county who is registering, and this sub-counties really can't be covered by that person in that style. Thank you.
But they come in at 10 and leave by 1. So by the time these other people who want to come in the afternoon find they have left. So
MP Ebwaru Jonathan stated that Electoral Commission officials in Soroti have been requesting money from people to stamp their registration forms. MP Nakaseke Alan Mayanja similarly reported that EC officials in his constituency are demanding money from people for electricity to power the registration machines.
Not only asking for money to stamp on the forms, but he also first asked you, whom do you support?
The technical people from Electoral Commission, they're asking some money, like money for electricity, because these kids are using electricity.
Some of them have colluded with security agencies. They collect forms in bulk from people who give them money, sign for them, collect forms, take them to the GISOs and append their signatures. For people whom they think will not vote on the side that they want, they refuse to help them. They tell them to look for the GISOs wherever they are.
Speaker Annette Among emphasized that such incidents should be reported to the police.
Be able to take action. That is criminality. If you're asking for a bribe, you're asking for money from people, you as a leader must inform security and ask what is this happening here. Because we are not going to continue being with those people like that. If it is true, you should take.
Some MPs raised concerns about the limited number of functional computers at the Electoral Commission, many of which are in poor condition. This issue has been worsened by the lack of electricity in certain areas and ongoing power outages.
We are experiencing load shedding most of the time. Like for example, in Akaseka, we may take almost 4 days without power. Yet people are supposed to register and these kids use electricity. So what is happening now, they have sent one computer for a sub-county. And for my case, there are 11 sub-counties. There are only 9 computers. And these computers are in a very dangerous mechanical condition.
Are not having electricity. So these computers, of course, work for a short time and are out of battery. And as a result, the people are sent back home. People are getting disappointed and disgusted with the way we work.
Speaker Anita Nitamong also highlighted the issue of the Electoral Commission relying on students who have now returned to school, creating a gap in the workforce. She instructed the Prime Minister to engage with the Electoral Commission and report back to Parliament.
People are getting money on their person. It is not a government instruction that go and pick money from the voters. People are doing it illegally. So as a leader, you have to take action by reporting them to the police so that it is taken up.
I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Ugwitabinji.
Now, the UPDF Engineering Brigade has raised concerns over the delayed release of project funds as well as outstanding balances, which have slowed down the progress of various projects. While presenting a status report on health facilities constructed by the brigade, Brigadier General Bekunda Besije, the commander of the UPDF Engineering Brigade, mentioned that the 12.9 billion shillings required to complete 15 projects in the current financial year, only 5.4 billion shillings are available.
UPDF Engineering Brigade submitted a status report on health facilities constructed by the brigade across the country to the Health Committee of Parliament.
Remodeling and expansion of Jinja Referral Hospital Intensive Care Unit in Jinja. The cost was 804 million and the project was completed and is in use.
The commander of the UPDF Engineering Brigade, Brigadier General Bekunda Besije, says of the 12.9 billion shillings required to complete 15 projects in the current financial year, only 5.4 billion shillings is available.
There is need for timely release of the funds to complete these projects, those which are ongoing. Then there is also need for looking for money to also complete these new projects for this financial year.
Brigadier General Bekunda Besije explained to members of Parliament that the brigade is seeking 78.9 billion shillings to complete ongoing projects. The UPDF Engineering Brigade is reportedly constrained by insufficient funding to complete several key projects.
We will start these works and you find that maybe the progress is slow, the problem will be on.
Members of Parliament questioned the UPDF Engineering Brigade regarding the mismatch in reported project costs.
And for me, I think there is a big problem of value for money here. There are somewhere it appears that the costs seem to be at a bar, which I would say higher than what we would have actually expected, because at this particular case we expect that the UPDF is not making a profit out of these works that are being undertaken.
The specifications, bills of quantities, designs are prepared by the employee. So our job is to price and implement. So
Lydia Chomkama and Gloria Gutabinji, Parliament.
Item 66.
The chairperson of Lions Club International Foundation, Dr. Patty Hill, has commended the school feeding program in the Karamoja sub-region as it has boosted school attendance and reduced malnutrition among children. Let's hear more in this report.
The Lions Club International Foundation chairperson, Dr. Patricia Hill, visited the Karamoja sub-region to assess the progress of the $1 million project, which is being implemented by the World Food Program in over 200 schools.
And the World Food Program USA. With our combined funding, we are supporting food, meal. School feeding project is not just about meals. It supports education.
At Karenga Boys Primary School, the project supports the cultivation of orange sweet potatoes, which has led to increased school attendance and a reduction in malnutrition among learners.
Mushrooms, we have vegetables like sukuma wiki, like eggplant, like boho. That is.
Dr. Patricia Hill also visited the Low Balangit fish farming community.
Malnourished children since the other time. So up to date, the malnourished is not there. They are stopped. So one thing, fish has given what? Money. The money, we take a child to school.
In Kabong district, the project has constructed a modern kitchen equipped with energy-saving stoves.
Overall, 65 cook stoves and 57 kitchens. So in Kabong specifically, we are constructing 27 kitchens and 27 cook stoves. The cook stove that you're seeing here has been tested and certified to save up to 50 or 60% of the fuel that is used.
From outside there, and the weather would affect us. Like windy weather, rainy weather, sometimes when it becomes too windy, it will blow off the covers and pour soil inside the food of these learners here.
To empower the local community, the World Food Program purchases food from local farmers, such as the Kabong Women Farmers Association. Women farmers shared how the World Food Program has improved their lives.
From the WFP, it built us capacity on good agronomic practices, on post-harvest handling, marketing, and accounting system.
In 2023, we sold 1,300 of maize to WFP. That year we made a record to WFP. I'm sure the year within us. Then we also sold 600 metric tons of beans to WFP.
The World Food Program's country director Marcus Prior and the Karamoja area office head James Kingori explained that their goal is to make Karamoja self-reliant in addressing hunger issues.
What's built in Karamoja stays in Karamoja. What's grown in Karamoja stays in Karamoja. So this is our focus of our work now. We bring this holistic approach to development, good nutrition, healthy diets, and kids who not only
reliance on external support, and when I mean external support, the food that were coming here in trucks to see whether it can be produced. The potential in this region is great, and we just need to really make it happen.
Representatives from the Lions Club Foundation commended the progress of the project.
Guaranteeing that children receive lunch at school each day. Local farmers are also involved, which strengthens the local economy and then ensures fresh, nutritious foods in the school program.
So leaders, thank you so much for being very visionary, resilient, sacrificial. You have sacrificed for your communities. And out of this we shall reap very, very many.
We have molded several different schools, the farming associations, and it is very impressive what this kind of donation and support is doing. More importantly, apart from providing the hot meals, they have integrated sustainable approaches.
Kabong District Chairperson Mary Gino stated that the support will help improve school retention rates. Kabong District Deputy RDC Federis Logwe and other leaders emphasized that education is the key to transforming lives in Karamoja. The leaders thanked the organizations for their support and committed to helping ensure that the initiative continues to change lives. Dr. Patricia Hill was escorted by World Food Program Country Director Marcus, World Food Program Head of Karamoja Area Office, James Kingori, and Lions Club International officials, led by District Governor 411B Benon Katate, along with district officials from Karenga and Kabong districts. Mario Nawori and Maureen Yiga for UBC.
In Mayuga, the State Minister for Local Government, Victoria Lusoke, has ambushed health workers who report late at work in Mayuga district. During her surprise visit to the health facility, she found out that the male patients are mixed up with female patients in the same ward at Mayuga Health Center 4. Let's hear more in this report.
The State Minister for Local Government, Victoria Rusoke Businje, had already camped at Mayuge Health Center 4.
No one saw me. I came here. At 8, you didn't see me. None of you was, he didn't see me. None of you was around. And I interviewed some patients. So unfortunately, the video recorder had not arrived. They told me here, if you want service, it starts around 10 a.m.
Her impromptu visit follows a whistleblower's report on poor service delivery in many of the government health centers in Mayuge district.
To know the problem, why you have abolished night duties, moreover after getting your salary enhancement. Is that being fair to the people of Mayuge?
The surprise visit was also anchored on reports of misconduct of health workers at the health facility. During her visit, noted late coming and absenteeism of some of the health workers at the facility.
So did we make a mistake to enhance your salaries? Haven't you heard your colleagues, artists grumbling?
Mayuge Health Center 4 receives 540 million shillings quarterly. This to Minister Businje is enough to attract better services if money is properly utilized.
To our dismay, this money is not put to proper use. And you've been getting 54 million quarterly every 3 months. So the auditors are coming to ask you for accountability.
In her tour, Businje also established that male patients share the same wards with the female patient. According to the hospital in charge, Dr. Samuel Wagumbo, the facility lacks medical equipment that are needed in several diagnostics. This to him has complicated service delivery.
And then there's still lack of those medical imaging services like x-rays, scans that mothers and other patients have to go and seek them outside in private clinics.
Dr. Wagumbo says the hospital serves a big population and receives many referrals from Namaingo and from the islands of Buvuma.
OPD department alone, we are serving over 3,000 people per month. In the maternity, we are delivering over 250 per month. We go to antenatal, we are serving over 300 mothers per month.
Despite the challenges facing the facility, the management says it has tried to utilize the quarterly money it receives from the central government to cover hospital bills of water and electricity.
The National Water and Sewerage Corporation, together with the Ministry of Water and Environment, is gearing up to host the 22nd Africa Water and Sanitation Conference, set to begin on February 16, 2025 at Munyonyo Commonwealth Resort.
Of course, the Congress will be of great value to Uganda. We shall not only have monies of all these people who are going to be spent here in Uganda, but we shall be boosting tourism potential of Uganda. Many of these people have come because they like Uganda, they like the weather, they like the physical features they see, they like the hospitality So this Congress is going to be very important in that way. We shall have a very active exhibition during the Congress, and so we shall have different people displaying their technologies, and some of them might get interest in establishing investments here to be able to manufacture some of those inputs we normally need in the water sector. As you know, National Water has moved a long journey of growth, business growth, and I can tell you through these networks, we've been able to pick so many lessons. We've been able to know how it is best done in other countries, and that's how we've been able to do it here. Third thing,
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo.
Abantu be Bulova mwenna olwako olwaleero tuli wamu St. Paul Kidagaten nga tuze kukola ki tuze kuwa muzadde waffe eyawangudde school fees za mwaka mulamba kyeyakoze jogajoga yasasuza school fees we nakozesa school pay bwatyo n'awangula.
Nasooka kwogera amannya ga mwana mulala ngenda okuwulira ng'asiriikiridde nenooza twakinzemu si kituufu ne mugamba nyinawo abaana babiri kyavambuza omulala yaani ne mubuulira amannya ge n'angamba oyo oli muwanguzi waffe ne MTN Momo wawangudde school fees gwe muwanguzi wa wiiki eno.
Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered a draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
According to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics Census Report of 2016, in Uganda, 12.4% of the population, about 4.5 million, live with a disability. Limited access to ICT and assistive technologies increases digital disparities, prompting UCOSAF's aim to promote digital inclusiveness for persons with disabilities. The ICT for People with Disability program aims to improve the accessibility of education and technology for persons with disabilities and promote their full and effective participation in society. UCOSA is implementing this program through the creation and maintenance of an online observatory for persons with disabilities intended to link persons with disabilities with service providers and different programs that empower them, and provision of adaptive tools that enhance their quality of life through ICTs and digital skilling.
Welcome back from that short break. Now let's get into our second segment. Now, in an effort to promote literacy and spiritual growth, the Kabubu Development Project in Wakiso District has received a donation of 1,000 picture Bibles for its learners. The donation provided by GB Trust, a charitable organization based in the UK, was received by the Executive Director of Kabubu Development Project in Nangabo, Wakiso.
The primary curriculum in Uganda supports high-quality learning, teaching and assessment for all children attending primary and special schools. The primary curriculum recognizes primary education as a time of being and becoming, highlighting the importance of interesting, relevant and appropriately challenging experiences for children. With this donation of a picture Bible, it is making the reading of the biblical literature easy and enjoyable to the youngsters.
And we've seen when kids are able to read storybooks and they improve their way of reading, they actually become very good in the academics. Because one of the hindrances of you understanding academics is when the language is the barrier.
The Christian Literature Communications Kenya delivered the donated 1,000 picture Bibles to children under Kabubu Development Project, according to the National Director, Christian Literature Communication, Kenya, Dr. Muthoni Omkango. The gesture is to help the young generation of mostly vulnerable children to go through the physical, social, emotional and spiritual development.
We came because we are giving 1,000 Bible. It's called the Picture Bible, and we want the children to be able to read and be drawn to God. But also, as part of our initiative, we run a program called Mama Africa Book Box. It's a club where we encourage children to both read and write.
The Executive Director, Kabubu Development Project, Enoch Kagoda, says his organization was prompted to mobilize orphans and other vulnerable children in Nangabo sub-county in Wakiso after realizing the adverse effects of HIV and poverty in the region.
So because of that physical location of the area, it was kind of underdeveloped, yet it is so near Kampala. So children never used to go to school beyond P4 or P5, and it was very difficult to have children who have finished secondary school in this area. And imagine by 2000, people were still hunting as a mode of livelihood.
The learners were engaged in interactive Bible reading sessions led by the Christian Literature Communications team and were given the opportunity to explore creative writing. Promising young talents were identified for mentorship in children's book authorship, paving the way for future storytellers.
It is really going to enhance and improve the academic performance when it comes to that area of religious education. Because now, if it comes to Bible stories, each child is going to be having his or her personal Bible.
I'm very happy because I am going to read my own Bible. I read anytime I want because there are pictures which can attract me.
My mother had a Bible, but she was refusing us to read it because she was fearing that we could use it wrongly and tear papers.
The Kabubu Development Project continues to make a positive impact in the community, and this donation of picture Bibles is a valuable addition to their efforts. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Community Church Pastor Martin Semper has issued a public apology regarding his statement made during the Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament, where he called for the legalization of polygamy among Christians.
The media has inaccurately portrayed my position, suggesting that I have now changed and initiated a campaign to promote polygamous marriages within the Christian fraternity. I categorically state that this is not and was not my intended communication. And I want to express that I deeply regret any and all misunderstandings which has risen as a result of that communication. My personal belief and practice remain in line with the Christian teachings which prohibit polygamy. I support God's best plan of having a happy monogamous marriage, and I stand with the Christian groups that practice monogamous marriage. My intended communication about polygamy was in exceptional circumstances. Exceptional circumstances where you are dealing with new converts who have become Christians when they are polygamous already with 3-4 wives. So it was misunderstood and misinterpreted as meaning that I have changed from the position of monogamy, which is the Christian teaching of marriage.
Listen up. Collocates is on a mission. It makes our gums happy and our teeth strong. See? We're moving forward and start making changes.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
And we'll leave no smile behind.
Government of Uganda presents Post Buses in Uganda, operated by Posta Uganda. We specialize in professional transport, courier and vehicle hire services across Uganda. Our routes include Kampala Masaka Mbarara Kabale Chisoro, Kampala Mukono Jinja Mbale via Tirinyi Road Soroti Lira, and Kampala Luwero Kamudini Gulu Kitgum. Our main offices are located at the Post Office Head Office on Kampala Road, with booking services available at counters 23 and 24 at the General Post Office. You can also book at designated district post offices along our routes. For inquiries or bookings, please contact us on 0751 684 184. Posta Uganda. We deliver trust.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo.
Abantu be Buloba mwena olwako olwaleero tuli wamwe wano ku St. Paul Kindergarten nga tukuze kukola ki tuze kuwa muzadde waffe eyawangudde school fees za mwaka mulamba. Kyeyakoze jogajoga yasasuza school fees we n'akozesa school pay bw'atyo n'awangula.
Nasooka kwogera amannya ga mwana mulala ngenda okuwulira ng'asiriikiridde. Nenooza twakinzizemu si kituufu ne mugamba nyinawo abaana babiri kyava mbuza omulala yaani ne mubuulira amannya ge n'angamba oyo oli muwanguzi waffe ne MTN Momo wawangudde school fees gwe muwanguzi wa wiiki eno.
Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered a draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
Looking for instant excitement? The Uganda National Lottery Spin for Cash game is now available online. Wherever you are, you can join the excitement for just 500, 1,000 and 2,000 Uganda shillings. Don't miss out. Register now on www.nationallottery.go.ug for a chance to win your share of 2 billion instantly. What are you waiting for? Play Spin for Cash now, anytime, anywhere. Ituba is the proud operator of the Uganda National Lottery.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Welcome back from that short break. As we continue in our next segment, the new Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, Professor Augustus Nwagaba, has revealed that the economic growth trajectory can keep increasing as long as people get engaged in income-generating activities. He revealed this while launching his book called The Transformative Economist at the colorful event attended by hundreds at Makerere University.
In a colorful event which brought great dignitaries that included the new Governor Bank of Uganda, Dr. Michael Ating Ego, Sudiru Pereira, Professors Mondo Kagonyera, Ezra Suruma, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, economic scholars, academicians, Professor Nwagaba said Uganda is poised to grow economically as long as many people get involved in economic activities and shun mere lamentations.
In order for an economy to transform, there are drivers of that transformation, and one of them is to ensure that each person in the country is engaging in economic activity. The person has a target, the person has develops a culture, and then the government also does its role. What is the role of government? The government must provide infrastructure to ensure that the businesses, economic activities can be done without hitches. So for people people, for individuals, you must make sure that you have something that you are doing, because also the book also explains income. You must have income, because also government needs money to run government services, and this money comes from us.
Professor Nwagaba's transformative book launch today hints on debt management as a country and breaks down priority areas for right investment. Economic scholars like Dr. Fred Muhumuza are optimistic that the current Bank of Uganda leadership will propel Uganda economically well and keep inflation in check.
Dr. Ating Ego, who has been the deputy governor, has been elevated to become full governor. So you expect a lot of commitment, a lot of zeal, and a lot of the strategy that has been used to remain in there. And now more so in a substantive capacity and with an able deputy, you would be imagining that they are going to deal with a challenging time. But economics, you can never say I have it. Economics always has surprises. Trump has just come in. We have seen USAID winding up. So we're going to have shortfalls in dollars. We have seen Europeans that have been giving us less and less money. And other donors, we have seen businesses are struggling because of the high interest rates.
And a school has a mandate to create a character that is marketable. A marketable character is trained on a daily basis. Things like keeping time, integrity, honesty are things which are very much needed in the workplace.
All of us have capacity at different levels to engage in some meaningful economic activity.
The launched book has wealth of economics knowledge which will inform Uganda's economics perspectives.
And we're saying if you borrow minus consideration of what are the loans going to do and how do I balance the loans between what economists will say the fixed cost, which is building of the roads, which is infrastructure, but also leaving money for the private sector to actually do things for you, then you are going to get into a debt trap. You would begin borrowing to pay back debt. You'd begin sacrificing money that would have gone into social services to pay debt.
Crispus Arinitwe, Jimmy Akanshemeza, UBC News.
Well, now tuberculosis is a deadly disease responsible for millions of deaths in the developing world. Now, an estimated 90,000 Ugandans reportedly contract the disease each annually despite of the efforts to combat it. Let's hear more in this report.
TB is highly infectious and can be spread through the air when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks. With no less than 5 years to reach the 2030 UN NTB target and declaration, African countries like Uganda are still battling stigma and discrimination on top of the high costs of care and treatment.
Apart from the medicine, they incur a lot of expenses, and some of them actually may spend more than 20% of their annual income on a TB patient. So that one means that many people, when they get this challenge, they are going to go into economic depression. Then the patient, if he's supporting any activities in the family, you're the breadwinner, many people are going to suffer.
According to the World Health Organization, TB costs the global economy over $1 billion annually. The burden of TB on families and the economy is immense. It affects productivity, reduces economic growth, and increases healthcare costs.
And even the country incurs a lot because we input a lot to treat these patients. For example, one who has a drug-susceptible TB, they may be spending about 1.4 million on this patient before the patient gets cured. That's a lot of money. When it comes to drug-resistant TB, the money multiplies. It goes up to 4 million, a lot of money. So we want to say this, that TB affects us socially, economically, and it's a big burden.
A report by the Minister of Health in Uganda indicates 40 people succumbing to TB every day. The spread of tuberculosis is worrying, with law stakeholders in Uganda perplexed over the increasing prevalence of TB. At the time, they are expecting total reductions.
Let us end TB by 2030. We have to do whatever it takes. And one of the issues is to engage everybody. We need to make sure everybody knows they are a stakeholder in ending TB. That alone, once achieved, I think we shall go a long way. So we may not achieve it by 2030, just like has been the case with many diseases and targets.
TB disease has been in existence for a long time, but has had less attention compared to other pandemics like HIV, AIDS. 1 million people die every year from TB-related ailments. There are several types of TB, including pulmonary TB, which affects the lungs, and extrapulmonary TB, which affects other parts of the body. We also have drug-resistant TB, which is a growing concern. The Uganda Stop TB Partnership Task Force has been holding a knowledge management meeting with different media personalities as journalists, celebrities, and artists in Mukono district.
One of our biggest challenges in the TB world, talking from a civil society perspective, is the limited knowledge or awareness about TB among our people. And when you look at the role of the Uganda Stop TB Partnership, the Secretariat staff may not be able to go down to the lowest person, but we ride on the current structures that we have in our communities to reach out to the lowest person, to the lowest unit, and that is the family and the individuals at household level. How do we get there? We may not be able to move from house to house, but we believe that working with the reporters and artists, we can get to our people.
We need to increase awareness about TB, improve access to diagnosis and treatment, and support families affected by the disease. By working together, we can reduce the burden of TB on families and the economy. TB is a serious disease that requires urgent attention. By understanding its types, cost implications, and economic burden, we can work towards a TB-free future. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now into the world of sports, Stephen Kiprotich National High Altitude Training, that is the training center in Teriet, Kapchora, has officially been offered over for custody to the National Council of Sports.
Ministry of Education and Sports, under the instruction of my supervisors, allow me hand over to you these documents.
The Ministry of Education and Sports has handed over the National High Altitude Training Center in Teriet, Kapchora to National Council of Sports.
Not as Tashovia, but as National Council of Sports.
This falls within the new law that vests all public sports infrastructure under the custody of National Council of Sports.
For God and my country.
What has been completed is the first phase that includes a tartan running track, a 3-kilometer jogging track, a hostel, and an artificial turf that accommodates football and rugby. The promise by National Council of Sports is to maintain what's available and embark on the second phase that has a strength and conditioning room, a physiotherapy room, a swimming pool, and better accommodation.
Our champions, our athletes need these facilities for immediate use, and as National Council of Sports, what is going to be very, very important is to ensure that within the shortest time we make the facilities available to athletes, but secondly, that we work to improve on the facilities, especially bring in some components of phase 2 that are urgently needed. In these, we want to talk about the strength and conditioning room and the physiotherapy room that are very, very important for the training and conditioning of athletes.
The National High Altitude Training Center in Teriet, Kapchora is a President Yoweri Museveni pledge following exploits of Stephen Kiprotich, who won Uganda's second Olympic gold in 2012.
We are not looking at only as a bedroom for our athletes to come and camp, prepare and participate, but also as a source of income. Allow me to also extend my appreciation to His Excellency the President of this country, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for embracing this concept in around 2012 and making it happen. This is not a mean project. Moreover, we are looked at as the first, not only in East Africa, but Africa, to this magnitude.
It will be achieved in 3 phases, the first of which is finished, while the third phase will elevate it to global status with a 5-star hotel and probably a golf course. This National High Altitude Training Center is one of many public facilities, including Hoima City Stadium and Akibwa Stadium in Lera, that are under National Council of Sports custody.
Well, time for us to step into the world of sports still. And of course, the cricket cranes dominated Hong Kong, China, winning by 76 runs in the second last match of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Challenge League B at Kowloon Cricket Club. Uganda posted a total of 276 runs, while Hong Kong could only manage 200. After rain affected the match with Italy, which ended in a draw, Uganda was eager for a win. Uganda lost the toss and was asked to bat first, and then Raghav Dhawan scored 52, Alpesh Ramjani 68, Raziat Alisha 40, and they both played key roles with the bat. In defense, all 5 bowlers contributed, with Alpesh Ramjani's exceptional performance scoring 68 runs and taking a 4-wicket, earning him the Player of the Match award. This victory pushed Uganda to 16 points, 4 ahead of Italy and Hong Kong, who sit in 2nd and 3rd place. Uganda will face Tanzania next in their final match of the tournament, which serves as part of the 2027 Cricket World Cup qualification.
So far 4/4. As you know, the previous one that we would have played yesterday was actually a washout. So we shared points against Italy. We managed to pick a win against Singapore. Managed to pick a win against Bahrain. So walking into the ground today, walking into the grass today, the dugout, and nailing it against Hong Kong was a massive one for us, and it puts us in a very beautiful place, in a very good space to really come up into Tanzania, and with good thoughts and belief that we're coming in for the ODI.
So yes, definitely early in the morning after losing the toss, batting was a bit difficult because the ball was doing a bit in the morning, but we succeeded as a team because we know that if we put a decent target on this wicket, then it will be difficult for Hong Kong to chase down. So
this was, I think, one of the best games we have played on 3 skills: batting, bowling, fielding. As far as toss was concerned, yes, we lost the toss, but to be honest, I was keen to bat. But full credit to the openers; they had a decent partnership.
Thank you so much once again for sticking it with us right from 1 o'clock, 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma Pango. It has been a pleasure. UBC TV continues with our programming. Good night.
Inspiring Uganda.
Uganda. Uganda